Hello, welcome to the next video, Introduction to VirtualBox and Cygwin. Previously, we were just introduced to threats and how to keep up with security news. In this video, we are going to install a virtual machine in VirtualBox. Then we will look at the EPEL repository for CentOS. After that, we will configure a network and create a virtual machine snapshot. Lastly, we will install Cygwin to connect to our virtual machines. Ubuntu Server is the most widely used Linux distribution for deploying cloud-based applications. See here for details. There are several different virtualization platforms that you can use, but my own preferred choice is VirtualBox. VirtualBox is available for Windows, Linux and Mac hosts, and is free of charge for all of them. It has features that you have to pay for on other platforms, such as the ability to create snapshots of virtual machines. Some of the labs that we'll be doing will require you to simulate creating a connection from your host machine to a remote Linux server. If your host machine is either a Linux or a Mac machine, you'll just be able to open the terminal and use the built-in secure shell tools. If your host machine is running Windows, you'll need to install some sort of bash shell, which we'll do by installing Cygwin. Now we will install a virtual machine in VirtualBox. For those of you who've never used VirtualBox, here's a quick how-to to get you going. Download and install VirtualBox and the VirtualBox extension pack. You can get them from this link. You can download the latest version by clicking here. Download the installation.iso files for Ubuntu Server and CentOS 7. You can get them from this link for Ubuntu and this for CentOS. So we will download the Ubuntu server from here. The download will take some time. Now start VirtualBox and click the new icon at the top of the screen. Fill out the information where requested. We will type the name as Ubuntu Server. Enter 4026 and click on Next. Finally, click Create. Increase the virtual drive size to 20 GB, but leave everything else as the default settings. Now start the new virtual machine. Click on the power button and give it a normal start. We are getting it as empty, so we will give the path where the .iso file is saved. Select the language as English. Select your location. Answer the prompts according to your need. Now it is asking for the host name. We will give the name Test. Enter the password, click on Continue, re-enter the password to verify. Answer the questions according to your requirements. The installation will take a while with a lot of prompts in between. So read through and answer them, or you can just follow what I am doing. We have finished partitioning and writing changes to disk. Now it is installing the system. So, we are giving the grub bootloader to the master boot record. To finish the installation, click on Continue. Click on Ubuntu. It will ask for your credentials. Enter the details. Then update the Ubuntu virtual machine by entering sudo apt update. Then it again asks for the password. Enter the password. Now type sudo apt dist-upgrade and continue. This might take some time. We will just skip the video part where the installation is going on, but to give you an indication, it might take about 20 minutes to half an hour. Let's start with installing Virtual Machine in the VirtualBox. We will download the ISO files for CentOS 7. This is the link to refer. We will download DVD ISO. Click on the link and the file begins downloading. Now we will continue the video after downloading. So let's create a new instance in the virtual machine for CentOS 7. Keep the default settings and enter size as 20 GB in the file location and size window. right-click on CentOS and click on Settings. Go to Storage and select Empty. Enter the ISO file, click on OK, then start the virtual machine normally. The installation of CentOS will take some time. After it is done, set the date and time. Then select Software. I am selecting Genome Desktop. Select the installation destination. Select the hard disk. Begin the installation. Now we have to set the root password. Then we go to User Creation window. Enter the username, make it the administrator, and enter the password. Click on Done. The installation continues. The installation and configuration is done. Let's reboot the system. Quit and enter Yes. It's again rebooting. Enter Y again. Enter the options as shown here. The license information is required. Accept the license agreement and click on Done. Now finally click on Finish Configuration. We got the test account here. Enter your password and log in. Select the language and start using CentOS. We have successfully installed CentOS 7 on our system. That took a lot of time. Now let's look at the EPEL repository on the CentOS virtual machine. To have the packages that you'll need for the CentOS hands-on labs, you'll need to install the EPEL, Extra Packages for Enterprise Linux, repository. The two packages that you'll need to install EPEL are in the normal CentOS repositories. Before doing anything, set path to the root directory. Run this command. Navigate to the etc.yum.repos.d directory and open the CentOS base.repo file in your favorite text editor using this command. After the last line of the base, updates, and extras sections, add the line priority equal to 1. After the last line of the CentOS Plus section, add the line priority equals 2. Save the file and close the editor. Each of the sections that you've edited should look something like this, except with the appropriate name and priority number. Save and quit this. Now open the epel.repo file for editing. Enter this command for that. After the last line of the EPEL section, add the line priority equal to 10. After the last line of each remaining section, add the line priority equal to 11. Now save and quit. Then update the system and then create a list of the installed and available packages. First, change the directory. Go to the root directory and type sudo yum upgrade. Then enter the next command, that is, sudo yum list greater than yumlist.txt. Thus, our command was successful. Moving on to configuring a network for VirtualBox virtual machines. Some of our training scenarios will require you to simulate creating a connection to a remote server. You would do this by using your host machine to connect to a virtual machine. When you first create a virtual machine on VirtualBox, the networking is set to NAT mode. In order to connect to the virtual machine from the host, you'll need to set the virtual machine's network adapter to bridged adapter mode. Let's see how you can do this. First, you need to shut down any virtual machines that you've already created. Then, on the VirtualBox Manager screen, open the Settings dialog for a virtual machine. Click on the Network menu item and change the Attached to Setting from NAT to Bridged adapter. Now expand the Advanced item and change the Promiscuous mode setting to Allow All. Restart the virtual machine and set it to use a static IP address. The restarting will take a couple of minutes. Next, we will create a virtual machine snapshot with VirtualBox. One of the beautiful things about working with virtual machines is that you can create a snapshot and roll back to it if you mess something up. With VirtualBox, that's easy to do. At the top right-hand corner of the VirtualBox Manager screen, click the Snapshots button. Just left of mid-screen, you'll see a camera icon. Click on that to bring up the Snapshot dialog box. Either fill in the desired snapshot name or accept the default name. Optionally, you can create a description. After you've made changes to the virtual machine, you can roll back to the snapshot by shutting down the virtual machine, then right-clicking on the snapshot name, and selecting the proper menu item. Our next topic is using Cygwin to connect to your virtual machines. Here's a quick how-to to get you going with Cygwin. In your host machine's browser, download the appropriate setup.exe file for your version of Windows from cygwin.com. After the download is complete, double-click on the setup icon to begin the installation. For the most part, just accept the defaults until you get to the package selection screen. At the top of the package selection screen, select Category from the View menu. Expand the Net category. Scroll down until you see the Open SSH package. Under the new column, click on Skip. This causes a version number to appear in place of the skip. After you have selected the proper package, your screen should look like this. Then in the bottom right-hand corner, click Next. If a Resolving Dependencies screen pops up, click Next on it as well. Keep the setup file that you downloaded, because you'll use it later to either install more software packages or to update Cygwin. Now again, we have to wait for some time. The installation is complete. Once you open Cygwin from the Windows Start menu, you can resize it as you desire, and use either the Ctrl and plus or Ctrl and minus key combinations to resize the font. So, we've made a good start to our journey into Linux security and hardening. In this section, we looked at why it's just as important to know about securing and hardening Linux systems as it is to know how to secure and harden Windows systems. We provided a few examples of how a poorly configured Linux system can be compromised. And we mentioned that learning about Linux security could be good for your career. After that, we looked at how to set up a virtualized lab environment using VirtualBox and Cygwin. In the next section, we'll look at locking down user accounts and ensuring that the wrong people never get administrative privileges. I'll see you there.